Hello. Hello, this is Aaron from Marcelo Sandrin Network, and today we're talking about some college football games. So unfortunately, as a Buckeye fan here, we saw Michigan upset the Buckeyes at home 13-10. That was a very close game, but unfortunately the Buckeyes had too many miscues, including 2 missed field goals. So we're going to see how the Buckeyes can bounce back from this. Hopefully they still make the playoffs. But across college football, we saw, in my eyes, a decent upset. It looked like South Carolina was able to beat Clemson on a last-minute field goal here, 17-14, and South Carolina will now make their push for possibly qualifying for the college football playoff, which would be quite interesting for them. We also have yesterday we had a crazy game. We had Georgia beat Georgia Tech in 8 overtimes, 44-42, which was pretty amazing because Georgia Tech was leading most of this game, and myself included, I thought maybe Georgia Tech would upset Georgia, and they actually turned out, to lose in eight overtimes, which is pretty unbelievable. So that's a big upset. That could have been a big upset. We also had Ole Miss take down Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, which was a pretty big win for Ole Miss, considering last week they were upset by Florida on the road, which is just tough. And for Jackson Dart and Ole Miss, you hate to see them end their season end like that. So I'm glad that they were able to, bounce back and get a win and hopefully still qualify for a bowl game. We also saw yesterday Colorado beat Oklahoma State 52-0, which was big for Deion and the boys to bounce back because they had a tough loss to Kansas last week, and unfortunately they might not make the playoffs now, but at least they still had a good season, looks like. We also see that Northwestern unfortunately lost to Illinois 38-28, which was good for Northwestern to put up 28 points, but unfortunately it was not enough for them as they still lost. And we see here Tennessee's up 36-23 against Vanderbilt, and it looks like actually Tennessee was down big in this game. They were down 16-0 in this game, and actually Tennessee scored, I think it was 23 unanswered points. Now they're up 36-23, and the game's got 48 seconds left. We also got Miami against Syracuse later today. That should be a good game. We got SMU against California, and SMU, we're rooting for SMU because they could qualify for the SEC championship game, actually ACC championship game, which would be big for them. It's their first year in the ACC, so if they're able to make that, it's a pretty big statement. We also got Auburn against Alabama in the Iron Bowl later, and Alabama's playoffs hopes are most likely done for, but it'd be interesting to see if they, take out their frustrations on Auburn. And we also got Maryland, Penn State, my other team, Maryland. Hopefully, they're up 7-0 against Penn State early on with 14 minutes left in the first quarter, so had an early touchdown drive here. But arguably, the game of the day is still yet to happen. It's Texas against Texas A&M. That game's scheduled for 6:30 tonight, so we'll see who wins that one. But until then, I'm Aaron from Baltimore. Unfortunately, the Buckeyes lost, but still Buckeyes forever, so we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Good.